first missions trip was to Indonesia to do a women's retreat, and it was in 1917. No, yeah, 2017. Well, I'm not quite that old. Actually, I did not want to go on a missions trip. I had no desire. I felt I had no skills, no reason for God to send me, and I did not want to go. But God made it very clear to me that He wanted me to go. And He confirmed it over and over and over, even though I argued with Him about it a lot. But so I went out of obedience with a lot of fear and trembling and wondering what on earth can I possibly do. But I did believe that if God called me, He would enable me. So I went. I went to a women's retreat for wives of church planters and female church planters. And I was asked to be a discussion leader for when they broke into small groups, which I had had some experience with in BSF. And so I did that with a translator because I spoke English and they spoke Indonesian, and so I had a translator. And it was an amazing experience. God gave me the words to speak to them, to things, heart questions that they had, and to see Him working was an amazing thing. It's always a challenge for me, the long plane rides. We're talking 18 hours. Plane rides is hard. I have arthritis in my hips, so that's hard. Being in it's not really a third world country, although parts of it are very third worldish. And it's hot and humid there, and I don't do well in the heat. So there are physical things that were difficult. Language is a barrier, which was frightening to me because a combination of my not being able to hear with my hearing aids well and not understanding the language can make me uncomfortable when I don't understand what people are saying. So that was something of a barrier, but God was good through it all. He enabled me to do whatever I needed to do and deal with whatever discomfort there might have been. Meeting these women on the other side of the world and just connecting with them, they're family. They're my brothers and they're my sisters. They're family, and we're all part of the same family. And just the connection I felt with them, and I fell in love with them. And I wasn't anticipating that. And I fell so in love with them, I want to go back over and over and over every chance I get. I want to go. He enabled me to do what He had me doing there, things that I didn't think I could do, but He enabled me to do that. And so to see Him working in that way was wonderful. But then also to see how these Indonesian women worshiped the Lord. Their hearts were they were so in love with God. And it was so very obvious. And to see Him working in their lives and to see them being healed and changed and growing closer, and just the way the Indonesians worship is so different than here. It's amazing. And then after coming home, I could see differences in myself. My walk with the Lord changed. I became more trusting of Him, more dependent on Him. I listened better to that still small voice that comes from deep down inside you. I prayed more. Just my whole walk with the Lord changed. In every way, I grew closer to God. In terms of listening, in terms of praying, in terms of being obedient, in terms of trusting and being dependent. Well, there's kind of two different sides to the answers to that question. Why should you go? The things I just said that God did to change my relationship with Him. The change in your relationship with God is well worth the effort to go. To recognize the people on the other side of the world or your family is an amazing thing. To also come home and realize that I appreciate what I have a lot more than I did because I saw how much they do not have. That was a big change. But I think maybe the most important thing of all is to recognize that Jesus called us all to go. And whether that going means to your kid's bedroom down the hall, or your next door neighbor, or the women on the other side of the world, we're all called to go. We're all called to advance God's kingdom, to make disciples, and to share his love. If you have any inkling that God is calling you to go, get over your fear and go. It is so worth it and rewarding.